Hello and welcome to today's video. My today's guest is Behrad. Maybe you want to introduce yourself, Behrad, for the audience, for people who don't know you yet.
Yes, sure. I'm Behrad, and I'm studying currently medicine in Bulgaria, and I'm in third year at the capital of Bulgaria, university in Sofia, the medical university in Sofia. And yeah, so Marcel helped me to get into the university 2 years ago, and now I'm in fifth semester. And
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm glad to have you today on my YouTube channel. I think this
yeah,
video
sure.
will be interesting for all the people that are looking forward to studying medicine, dentistry, maybe also abroad, and thereupon work in Switzerland or Germany. So, Behrad, can you tell me a little bit how you got to study medicine in Bulgaria as someone from Germany?
Yeah, so I wanted to study medicine, and like in some other countries, like Britain or Sweden and so on, Germany also has a numerus clausus, meaning that you have to have a very good grade, like an exceptional good grade, in order to get immatriculated into the university. And for most people that want to study medicine, this is just not possible. Therefore, we have to seek some other options. And in my case, it was Bulgaria, so Sofia. And yeah, that's why I went to the EU foreign countries. And I investigated more than only Bulgaria. I looked into Slovakia uh, and some other countries like Italy and so on and so forth. But Bulgaria was the best fit. And yeah, so that's how I got into Medical University of Sofia in Bulgaria.
Cool. And how did you, since the point you found my videos on YouTube, how long took it yourself to get, familiar with the idea or to get convinced that this is a good idea to start?
Yeah, so to begin with, you're in Germany and you have never heard about, let's say, other countries that are not immediately around Germany and neighboring countries. So it was pretty intimidating at the beginning, but as you see the videos, as you see the experiences of also other people that you have interviewed on your channel, I got more convinced that it is actually a way that you can undergo. And I also saw that many people already have done it, so why shouldn't I? So it's definitely a possible way to go to. And if you want to study medicine, this is a very good option.
Cool. So once you arrived in Sofia, how much did my video content and what you heard in my YouTube videos on my German channel meet your expectations of the reality in Sofia? That would be really interesting to know.
Yeah, actually, that's a good question because on your German channel, you have a lot of videos about Sofia and Bulgaria. So I had quite a bit of background information when I went to Bulgaria, and I knew that there are like shops that you also find in other parts of the world. And Germany, for example, you find DM, you find ID, and these are shops that are common to me. So I went and looked for them, and they were there, and also many other things like there's the main street, the Vitosha street that you also mentioned. There are some parks like the South Park, and I went and saw them as you were vlogging in those
Yeah,
parks. And I
cool.
just went to the paths and saw them for the first time, and that was very interesting actually. So it gave me a base to stand on. It was a good foundation. Nevertheless, you have a new culture that you have to learn, and you have a completely new language that you have to listen and get comfortable with. So there is challenge, but it was a good background information.
Great. Yeah, I remember
Okay.
that I made a lot of videos on the park that are still on YouTube, interviewing other students as well and so on. So you probably
Exactly.
watched those and then you're like, ah, this is the place where they filmed. Okay, cool. And yeah, I remember meeting you also right from the beginning. And I think you rented a car and you were quite like self-sustaining already in the beginning and you like were quite resourceful. And you turn out to be like one of the best students at the medical university. So maybe you might want to share some information on how hard it is actually to study in Sofia at the medical university.
Yeah, so the image that we have from medical universities and medical students altogether is that these are how do you say it? Work alcoholics, and
Workaholics,
they
yeah.
work a lot. Oh my God, that's a difficult word. But they have to study like 14 hours a day or 12 hours a day, and that's just not the case. So in the exam phase, obviously you're going to learn much harder, and you have to put in the hours. However, it's the case that you have your free time and um, you can go out to your friends, you have a social life, you can have hobbies, you can go and do sports and so on and so forth. So everything is normal. In the exam phase, which is more extended than, for example, in high school, you have to learn for 4 weeks, 5 weeks for one exam only. So it is more time that you have to invest for learning and so on and so forth. But until that time, until the exam phase, everything is pretty much normal because you're learning at the university. And if you just learn 1 hour a day on top of the university, you're practically a good student. So it's not impossible or something. It is possible. It's very possible. And again, many people have done it, and you can do it as well. So can I, and so can everyone who wants to study medicine or dentistry or pharmacy or anything else.
Cool. Okay. Thank you for your feedback. Maybe also one specific question on that to elaborate on that. What was your hardest exam so far?
Yeah, so the most difficult exam is the fourth semester or third semester in dentistry, which is the anatomy exam, because it is just huge. It is huge. You have to know every nerve, you have to know every artery, every vein, every muscle, neuroanatomy on top. So it's quite challenging. And the challenge in itself is not that you have to learn for anatomy, but that you have to learn for anatomy, that you have to learn for physiology and biochemistry simultaneously. So this is all in one block of exam, and you have to know all three of them to pass. So some students have different strategies. I tried to make all of them at once, and I passed all of them with good grades. But some students say, okay, I'm just going to focus on 2 of the 3 exams and try to pass them with a good grade. So I have to worry on one exam in the resit session, which is in September usually. And that's also a valid option, because if you don't want to stress too much, and if you still want to have a little bit of social life, because in the exam phase, it is really difficult to do anything else than studying. If you want to be more free person in that time, you can do that. Otherwise, if you study enough, you can pass all of them. And the good thing about Sofia is that if you really put in effort, and if you really go and learn the synopsis, learn the syllabus, you can actually pass with good confidence, let's say. So it's not impossible. Again, it's not impossible.
Great. Okay, that's good to hear. What I would like to add is also that from our students so far, everyone is in their regular study time, so no one lost a year or something. And it's quite common, as Behrad said, their exams are not easy, but it's quite common that someone might repeat an exam, but you can repeat in the summer and you have like a full summer to prepare on those exams again. And then if you fail, you can repeat it again. And then depending on the exam again, or you can take it within your next year and then write it in the next year, and you have again 3 attempts. And sometimes you can even do that further into the second year. So you can carry the exams 2 years. The only thing is until the clinical phase, you should have passed everything. So the exams are not easy, they're quite hard, but the regulation is very fair. So the university wants you to pass, and you get as many chances as you need, I would say. So that is the good thing, that the university is not working against you, they're working for you, meaning the exams are hard, so you study hard, but in the end, if you fail or something happens, they will always give you the chance to repeat the exam.
Exactly, yeah.
So what is interesting is that you're doing an internship or something like an internship right now in Switzerland. And maybe you can explain a little bit about that. I think many students would be interested in like how the internship system works. So how many internships do you need to do in Sofia, and how you so far have done that?
Yeah, so at the Medical University of Sofia, you have to do 15 days of, let's say, practical task, which is called summer practice. and this is 14 or 15 days, I'm not sure, but you have to work in a hospital. In the first year as a nurse, in the second year you can also be a nurse, but you can also go into the more internship-like phase where you are a doctor and shadowing doctors. And yeah, so you can do it anywhere that you want to if you're from the European Union. So if I'm from France and I want to do it in France, I can do it. If I'm from Germany, I want to go to Switzerland because they also speak German, I can do it. Or if I want to go to Austria, I can do it. However, if you come from Canada or something, you have to either do it in Bulgaria because it is the regulatory, or you can request to do it, for example, in, let's say, Greece or any neighboring countries. And that is what you have to do every summer until the 4th or 5th year. And that's basically it. So you have to have the signature of the head of the hospital that you have done the 15 days of practice. And this is the internship that you have to do, which is obligatory. So in other countries, there's a system that is quite likely like the Sofia one. However, it's 30 days, or they say that until the 6th year, you have to have this many days in this department and that department, and so on and so forth. But in Sofia, you're basically free. You just have to do these 50 days somewhere and have the documents that you have done it. You have to need to show proof and so on and so forth. So that's a summer practice.
Great, very interesting. So about a little bit more about the general structure of the university, can you tell us a little bit about the tuition fees, the duration of your studies in Sofia, and about the basic organization of your typical week, like in practicals, lectures? How is the structure of the program?
Yeah, of course. So in Sofia, the tuition fees are 9,000 euros for medicine and also for dentistry. So it's not like other countries that you have to pay on top because you're choosing dentistry. It's the same. It's 9,000 euros. And you have to pay the fees before, 1 month after the semester starts. So you have 30 days that you can pay the fee, and there's no option that you can pay it monthly or something. You just have to pay it every semester. You can also pay every year if you want to. That's on you. And it is so that you are in a group. So you have seminars and you have lectures. In the seminars, you have a group, and this group you have from the first year until the last year. And the members of this group are going to stay the same. And usually, if you're from France or something, you have French people in your group. If you're from Germany, you have German people in your group. However, you can also choose to be in a more international group. And the group members are mostly, how do you say? So there are 9 to 12 group members, and the group members are mostly with you every semester. And rarely, they're going to drop out of the school or go to some other school, or just, I don't know, just repeat 1 year or something. But basically, these are the people that you're going to study with the whole year, until the 6th year, actually. And again, so we have seminars and we have lectures. Lectures are not obligatory. So you can choose to go to this lecture and skip that lecture and so on. But seminars, you have to go and attend. And you basically need to attend every seminar. If you are ill, you can skip 1 or 2 seminars. I guess it's 2. You can skip 2 seminars, but no more than 2. So you have to be there every other seminar. And if it happens that you're ill and you skip 3 seminars, you have to resit 1 of them. So you basically just missed 2 of them in order to get the signature and to be able to sit the exam. And yeah, so this is the structure of how the university works.
Okay, great. How important would you say are the lectures? Should you attend all of them, or do you think it's not necessarily better to study at home?
So I would recommend to attend every lecture for the first time, so you get a grasp of how the lecturer is. And it really depends on the professor. So some professors have, for example, 300 slides, and it is just impossible to go through all the slides in just 60 minutes or something. So for many people, it is useless, so they don't go to that lecture. But you might find another professor who is just explaining everything wonderfully. And you might go to that lecture. And if you have some questions, some particular questions for the exam, for the incoming exam, and you just don't know where to ask, you can go to the lectures, and at the end of the lectures, you can always discuss questions with the professor. So that's also a good opportunity and good reason why to go to the lectures. So it really depends on the professor, and it also depends on how much you know, how much you want to ask, how much you want to learn, and what your motivation is, how much is your distance to the university. So if you have to take the train and then the bus and then the tram, it's going to be less, how do we say, it's going to be less comfortable to get to the university only for one lecture. So it really depends on many factors, but I would attend at least once to see how the professor is in each subject.
Yeah, definitely agree. Yeah. Thank you very much. I think people got a really good overview over the medical university in Sofia and the advantages. If you're further interested, feel free to book a free consultation with one of my colleagues over the link under in the description of this video, and you will discuss which university in Europe is the most suitable for you, where financial needs and other things are met, and where we can get you a place, our student recruitment agency. And special thing about us is we also help you regarding the pathway to Germany, and we don't only get you the place. There are different options, different universities we work with, so just book the consultation. You will learn about everything, and you will get further information as well via email after the meeting. It's 100% for free, and just wanted to bring a little attention to that. And if you say, hey, it's too early for me, I'm just getting informed and maybe still in high school, then just subscribe to our channel and let us know what kind of content, kind of videos, what kind of questions you have, videos we should make. Thank you very much, Behrad, for watching. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.